so on this, we're gonna finish looking at the examples that are on the back of your notes page for adding and subtracting rationals. So remember, when you're adding and subtracting rationals, the denominator or the bottom of the fractions must be the same. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is factor each of the denominators out. So when I factor 6x minus 18, that's a greatest common factor of 6, with x minus 3 left. Okay, and then I'm going to factor 4x squared minus 14x plus 6. And I'm going to do this over here on the side of my board. Okay, so the first thing you want to do with this actually has a greatest common factor of 2. So I'm going to divide the whole problem by 2 to get started. And I'll get 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. Okay, once I'm there, I now have another trinomial that I need to see if it can factor. So if I multiply the 2 with the 3, okay, I will get x squared minus 7x plus 6. So do I have factors of 6 that add to give me a negative 7? And I do. I have x minus 6 and x minus 1. And then before I'm done with this one, I have to go back. The 2 that I multiplied by the 3, I have to divide that 2 back out. So this will give me 2x minus 3. And then here, 1 divided by 2 cannot happen, so I'm going to bring this 2 up and get 2x minus 1. So that is this side. All right, so trying to get a common denominator. What I'm going to do here is look at each side and see like what I need on one side and what I need on another side. I know I have x minus 3 already. Okay, but 2x minus 1, I need to get that on the left side. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do first, is multiply in by this 2x minus 1 here and on top. Okay, and then I still need a 6. So I have a 6 here and I have a 2 here. How can I make this 2 a 3? I mean, how can I make this 2 a 6? I would multiply it by 3. Okay, but if I'm going to multiply this by 3, I also have to multiply the top by 3. Okay, so to make that look a little bit better, I'm going to rewrite it. So I'm going to rewrite this as 5 times 2x minus 1, 6, x minus 3, 2x minus 1, minus, then I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to put it in front of this x minus 1. And now the bottom, because of the 3, 2 times 3, I now have 6, x minus 3, 2x minus 1. So now that my denominators are the same, I can pull these all into one problem, and I can pull it into one problem, and I can go ahead and distribute. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to erase this part over here. All right, so 5 times 2x is 10x. And 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Okay, and then I'm going to keep going. This minus sign is going to go with this 3. So this 3 is now really a negative 3. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive 3. Okay, so all I did was distribute, and now I'm writing it all over the same denominator. 6 times x minus 3 2x minus 1. So now I still need to combine like terms on the top. So I have 7x or 10x minus 3x to get 7x. And negative 3 plus 5 gets minus 2 over my denominator. I cannot factor that top, so therefore this is simplified, and this is my final answer. Okay, so let's look at example 7. Okay, so I'm going to factor the bottoms. So factors of 6 that add to give me a negative 5 would be x minus 3 and x minus 2. Factors of 12 that subtract to give me 1 would be x plus 4 and x minus 3. Okay, so when you look at it, you have an x minus 3 already on both sides, but you're missing an x minus 2 over here on the right. So I'm going to multiply by that x minus 2 on the top and the bottom. Okay, and I'm missing this x plus 4 on the left. So I'm going to multiply by this x plus 4 on the top and the bottom. Okay, so now I want to distribute and pull all of this together. Okay, so I have 4 times x, it's 4x. 4 times 4 plus 16. Now this minus sign makes this 5 a negative 5. So negative 5 times x is negative 5x, and negative 5 times negative 2 is a positive 10. And we write that all over the denominator, x minus 3, x minus 2, and x plus 4. It does not matter what order you write those parentheses in. Okay, now I need to combine like terms. So I have 4x minus 5x will give me a negative 1x, or just negative x. 16 plus 10 gives me a positive 26. All over my denominator, x minus 3, x minus 2, and x plus 4. I cannot factor the top to be canceled with anything on the bottom, so therefore this would be my answer. Okay, and then one more example would be example 8. All right, so when we look at example 8, nothing needs to be factored to start with. Okay, so all you're trying to figure out is what do you need to multiply by on each side. And so in this case, the 3x minus 1 needs to be multiplied here on the top and the bottom, and the x plus 1 needs to be multiplied here, top and bottom. Okay? All right, so I'm going to rewrite that so I know what we have. So we have x plus 1 times x plus 8 over x plus 1 and 3x minus 1 plus x plus 3, 3x minus 1, and x plus 1 over 3, or times x minus 1. Do not cancel out these fractions you just put in. Okay, what we need to do now is multiply the tops out so that we can combine like terms. So to multiply the top, I have x times x, get x squared, x times 8 is 8x, 1 times x, 1x, 1 times 8 is 8. Okay, now I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put a plus sign because of that one, and I'm going to distribute the other side. X times 3x is 3x squared. X times negative 1 is negative 1x. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times -1 is -3. And all of that now can just be written over x plus 1, 3x minus 1. Okay, so now I want to look at it to combine like terms. All right, so I have x squared and 3x squared. That is 4x squared. Then I have 8x plus 1x minus 1x plus 9x. This positive 1x and this negative 1x cancel. So really all I have is 8x plus 9x, which is 17x. And then 8 minus your 3 would be a positive 5. All right. So then you want to see if you can factor the top. The whole reason at this point to see if you can factor the top is you want to know, can it be canceled with anything on the bottom? Okay, so over here, I'm just going to write this out and see if we can factor it. Okay, so I'm going to multiply 4 and 5, x squared plus 17x plus 20. So do I have factors of 20 that will add to give me 17? So my factors of 20 are 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. Will any of those factors give me a 17? The answer is no. Therefore, this is your final answer because the top cannot be factored.